Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and a bunch of y'all asked me to review this product, and guess what? We got it in. This is the ATEM micro panel. Need to make sure I had it not right side up. But anyway, this is a control console that you can control any of the ATEMs from the ATEM Mini Pro and higher. You may be able to control the ATEM Mini, but we don't talk about that one because that one has been discontinued. But this can interface with this. It needs to be connected to your computer over USB or Bluetooth. But anyway, y'all asked about it. We're going to review it. But before we get started, hey folks, my name is AJ the CEO, and this is your first time stopping by the channel. Thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we do here, consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. So getting started, let's get the price out of the way. This is $675. Ooh, yeah, it is up there. But hey, you asked me to review it. We got it in, and we're going to be checking this out. I bought this with my own money, so hey, I ain't got to send this off to anybody to verify and all this other fun stuff. We're going to let it stand on its own legs. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. So it actually came in yesterday. Really straightforward. I like how they have this padded on the inside. We got our console here. Very nice feeling buttons, tactile buttons. We have a slider for your T-bar here and some other buttons. On the back, we have a Bluetooth button, on and off, and USB. That is it. There is no network, no nothing else. That's what you get in here. We got another sticker to add to our collection. Now, I remember asking someone, asking all of y'all how many of these stickers that we had, and I forgot who got it right at the time. So if they guessed 225, which was actually correct, but now this isn't going to be 226. We've got a bunch of other stuff that we've got, and we've got like 3 of these, about at least 12 to 14 converters. So that number is nowhere close at all. You know, outside of the normal sticker that we'll add to our collection, they also provide a USB-C cable here. And I mean, that's mainly about it. So let's go ahead and cut over to my computer over here. And let's get this whole thing set up. And if you notice, I've actually am using this for this scene right here. But let's go ahead and get this set up, and I'll show you how everything is going to be working with this whole thing. Alrighty, so we're here on the desktop. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and hook this up to USB here. All right, so I don't know if you heard the beep. The computer detected it. And the one thing about this does not have any Wi-Fi. It doesn't have any network or nothing. This is almost kind of like a Stream Deck. It needs software to control this, and the software is the ATEM control software. So that needs to be up. So right now, if I cut over to my desktop, see, I have nothing running. Let's go ahead and open up the the ATEM control software. So let me hold this up so we can actually see this at the same time. I'm going to open up this and see now it's controlled. If I go ahead and close the program here, it powered off. So yes, it can control your ATEM, but you need this connected to a computer that has the ATEM control software on it. That's the way how you can work it. So let's cut back over here to the desktop. Let's turn the software back on. Now, I have the speed editor here. So it comes with another program that you need to kind of make modifications to this. So the ATEM micro panel does not have that. It uses the same ATEM setup software. So if I go to connections and launch the ATEM setup, there is access to it. It gives you your battery life and all this other stuff like that. Now I do have this connected to my computer over Bluetooth, because I have a Bluetooth adapter in here, so I don't need to have a cable connected. So I'm actually going to do that here in a second when we move back so we can look through the buttons. But if we go into the settings, as you can see, we have it configured right now to go to the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, and it has all of the switchers that it is compatible with. And if you don't find yours listed on here, like the ATEM Television Studio HD, the 8 is not the one I have. I have the original one that was right after the original ATEM Television Studio. I would go down here to Other, and it can control them. So if we went to any of these settings, it changes the layout of the buttons on here for you, or you can make your own setup if you really want to. So we have our normal buttons on this side. So right now I'm not using button number 9 because my ATEM only has 8 inputs, but you can actually, there's a shift button on here, and we'll go through the buttons. So you can hold down shift and it will give you more functionality. So buttons 1 through 10 can have another purpose. You can do a drop down and you can select whatever that function is that you want here. So really cool that you can have double the features with this. And if we go to setup, you can change this to program preview, the same controls that you would have your ATEM, or you can change it to direct. You can change your brightness. You can see the version software. So it looks like you need at least 9.6, not 9.61, but that's the latest that is currently on right now. 9.62 is not out yet. You can change the name here if you wanted to. So if you had 2 of these, you could, do a -1, -2, whatever, if you need to. And if we go here, we can save our own buttons. So say you want to have your own specific layout. So this is what I've changed. Button number 10 for me is actually going to be the super source because there's no direct super source button in here. I can set that here, and then I can come over here and say, oh, I want to use shift and camera button 1 to be my media player 1, and then media player 2. And then you could set all this other stuff here if you wanted to, or you can turn all these off. It's up to you. And say I want that, I can now save that button mapping and save it as a document and say, micro panel AJ. So you can have your own settings. And if you wanted to, you can always load back up a different configuration if you wanted to. All right. So now we got that saved. And now I have 3 ATEMs. I have the one I'm using right now, the ISO. Then I have my ISO 2. That's the one that I take around to do events. And then, like I said, I have the Television Studio HD. Now, depending on which one your ATEM software is controlling, that is the interface that you're going to be, the console is going to be controlling. So once I connect to that, see my buttons changed over here. See, my buttons changed to the layout of that. So again, some of these buttons are not going to work because it's not, the Television Studio HD doesn't have a super source or none of that stuff. So just be mindful of that. So let's cut back over here. We're going to change back over to my ISO. That way y'all can see what I'm doing. So we just connect, the lights went off, and we go right back to this. So now let's cut back over. Let's cut back over to my top down so I can actually do all of this. And I'm going to disconnect this. Turn this off. And I'm going to turn this on. And for me, for whatever reason, it doesn't kick on like this automatically. So, and it just did that. If it didn't, I would just tap the Bluetooth button and it'll be paired. But again, I've already had this paired with my computer. All you got to do is hold down the Bluetooth button, search for it on your computer. If it has Bluetooth, it'll show up as a micro panel, and that's all you need to do. But now that we got this, I want to go over the buttons here because I really do like some of the functionality that they got. So let's go back over to my camera behind me. Now, one of the things, I use my tablet to actually control the ATEM when I'm doing shots like this. So this is one of the beauties of this, because if I cut over so that you can actually see my tablet, there is no super source button. So obviously you're able to see me do the super source because that's the one that I just set for number 5. So for me, in this setup, this will be perfect for me to have here, and I can adjust and change my shots, and I have access to all of the buttons compared to when I'm using my Google tablet or my iPad or iPhone or whatever that runs the app that I can control this. So let's punch in a little bit and let's look at the buttons on this thing. If I can get my shot here. And again, sorry for the glare. I guess I should have turned down the brightness on the buttons. We have 10 program buttons, 10 preview buttons. We have a macro button. Love that. We have background. We have our 4 upstream keys that we can turn them on, and then, we can tie them and then on to tie them to your shot. We also have, if you have an ME switcher, ME1, ME2, ME3, ME4, which actually has 4 switches built in, you could cut over to each one of these if you needed to do this. Obviously, this does not work right now because I'm connected to an ATEM Mini Extreme. We have our dip, our mix, our DVE, our wipe, our arm, and our sting. There's our shift button, so we can go into our next set of buttons if we program them through the app. Our preview transition button, so if you want to see what a transition is going to do. Right now I have a monitor right in here that I'm looking at, so if I was running a multi-view here, I could actually see that change. Here we have our cut and our auto. We have our T-bar, so like I'll do it right now. If I slowly fade here, that's how we're changing in between our shots here. We have our DSK 1 and 2. That's our tie buttons. Then we have our cuts, so it'll be an immediate change. So do I still have this set up from our live stream? No, I don't. I have it set to go to the computer. That's for my lower thirds. I think DSK2, I thought I had that set to a logo that we did during our last Q&A, but no, I actually don't. And actually, let me cut over to that because that's a good shot anyway. As you can see, I am connected over Bluetooth. There is my my micro panel right there that you can see under my input at 91% charge. That's what we got here. But if I was doing this and say I wanted to have my lower thirds or something like that coming in, it would be engaged that exact same way. Now, the macro, this is one of the tools that I use a lot, and you don't see it because I edit it out when I do this. When I need to change shots, like this super source, I have a macro set to this. So if I come here and I hold down macro, now I have my buttons lit up to show me how to engage. So if I go to macro number 1, you'll see a familiar shot. Macro number 1, and that is normally when I'm on that screen and I'm looking at my monitor. But if I go back here and macro number 2, that is this shot. Macro number 3 is back in front of my computer, but that's my Pro Presenter output. And number 4, I'm actually not using yet because I haven't had a use to set that configuration yet. But this makes it so much easier so that if I'm going navigating back here, I can just do everything from this console instead of running back to press the buttons on the ATEM. Or if you're running macros on any of your other ATEMs, it allows you to get access to this. Now, one thing is it does not have the direct picture-in-picture button, but if I turned on one of the keys, it's by default, it's engaging with the picture-in-picture that's set to the ATEM in the last coordinate of what I did. So, and if I turned on 2, that is going to my Media 1 player, I believe that's what that's going to. Number 3, I think both of those are looking at my media player. Yeah, I must not have that set. So that gives me access to this. ARM, I don't think that those are not being used because that's not functioning here, because that must be a function with the higher ATEMs. We do have our wipe. It doesn't look like you can switch that. I'm wondering how you could. I just pressed it again, so it doesn't make that change. Our DVE function, I don't think I have my stinger still on here. Well, I guess that was the stinger. It's using the wrong picture. So I can't change the media that I'm using on here. I guess you could make a macro for that, and you can say, change the macro to say, move to the next. You can do a up and down from its position. You could do something like that. I'm surprised the sting wouldn't work. We do have our mix. That's what we normally do. We have dip to color, whatever that color is. Yes, I mean, really, really cool. Now, with that being said, we already talked about the price. This is $675. Who do I see this for? Now it's gonna sound silly. I can justify it for me so that I don't have to run back and forth, and I can have this here when I'm using this, when I'm doing shots like this, and I don't have to run back and forth, and I have full access, and I don't need to use any of the apps on my tablets to do that, mainly because the apps I've seen don't give me full control. Where else I can see this, like for example, TCF, I'm getting ready to go back up there tomorrow to do some work, some additional stuff there. They have a Constellation ME2. I could see them physically having this, and it's a button key, a keypad that they can control everything, and they could easily go to the ME2, because trying to teach them how ME1 handles everything inside the house, ME2 handles everything on the live stream, and to juggle that with a software with 2 screens, and one screen is using up the ATEM software, the other one is using up Pro Presenter, and you have another screen under that controlling the ATEM. You can open up the ATEM software, have it minimized, and then for the most part have all of your controls with this, and it frees up your screen. I can see it for something like that. Or say you have, like at Antioch, they have the Television Studio HD, similar to the one that I have here, and they use the software. I could see something like that, so they have a physical keypad that they want to control. So again, I guess it's really meant for people that really want buttons to press. They don't want to use their mouse to click and slide the bar and all this other stuff like that. And then with this being on the table, it's just like a keyboard. You can just hit whatever that you need, and it's already programmed exactly what you need. For me, I love it. Not love it, I don't like using that word. I really like it because I can engage my macros right here, because I use the macros for a lot of stuff that I do. So that's what I would like it. I mean, it's not for everybody, I'll be honest with you, because at $675, you're about $225, $220 short of getting yourself a Television Studio HD or an ATEM Mini Extreme. So it's a unique group of people that need something like this. Again, let me know if you have any other questions of stuff you want me to test out with this. Again, this is mine. I paid for this for myself. This won't given to me. I wish it was. This wasn't given to me. So this is going to stay here. And like I said, I'm going to use it on this side when I need to do controls, when I'm doing unboxings or I'm doing more videos this way. Maybe I can do more videos this way because now I have full access to everything here when I'm doing something. So you never know. This might be a cool setup. At least for me, that's what I can see this would be for. And I guess if you're doing kind of like production, like we're going to be building a mobile production trailer sometime in the near future, I guess, maybe. I can probably use something like this, and then I can, hey, Bluetooth, as long as I'm still in the range, say I want to sit outside the trailer, and I can actually, control it from there. Something like that. But let me know if you have any other questions. Link is going to be down below if you're interested in getting one of these. I have not seen this on Amazon directly yet. I got mine from B&H Photo. I have a link to there, and if I find an Amazon link, I will put it there. But let me know if you, I'm sorry, I keep looking here to make sure my audio is still going. But let me know if you have any other questions and other stuff we're going to test out. I'm going to be playing at Antioch this Sunday, so I might just take this and hook it up to the ATEM Television Studio and just let the media play around with it and see how they enjoy it. And I might take it with me tomorrow to TCF just to maybe get some shots with this, make a short with it or something like that. I don't know. But let me know what y'all think about it. And I think that's about it. So again, thank y'all for the ones who suggested for me to get it. And I'm glad a situation popped up that we were able to get one and show you what it can do. So that's about it. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell, that way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video. Later.